All right, so I did get that to save. I was doing the right steps. For some reason, my Microsoft Word on the iPad was not working too well. You could see that I saved it properly because it says wash your hands up at the top. It's really important that you always save your documents with an appropriate file name because you'll never remember what document 1 or document 7 or document 14, you'll never remember what those are. Whereas when you're looking for wash your hands, whether it's to turn it in or continue working on it, you'll be able to find that. So at this point, I want you to find that blank space in between dry and when. We're actually going to insert a picture. But before we insert the picture, we need to make sure that we save it. So I'm going to hit my home button, go back to Schoology, and on Schoology, I'm sure your teacher has something in like a Microsoft Word folder. We're working on Word Module 1, and here's Wash Your Hands. In Wash Your Hands, you will see kind of it almost looks like a mountain with a sun. That support file, it's a image. And so if you tap on that, you'll see the picture. It might take a little while to load. Mine actually did. But you'll see this picture, this person obviously going through the 5 steps of hand washing. And once that loads, I want you to click on that arrow with the box by it and make sure you save that image. Now I've already saved mine, so I'm not going to hit it again, but go ahead, save that image. Nothing fancy happens, it just makes its way into your photos. At that point, you can make it back to Word. I'll be honest, I did have some like Word freezing problems when inserting that picture. So if your Word freezes, it's okay. Hit your home button, give your iPad a couple seconds. I'm sure it will come back. The good thing is, autosave, I believe, is on for most of you, where changes are saved automatically, similar to like Google Docs. Alright, so we've clicked in between step 5 and when. And we're going to go to the Insert tab, and we're going to insert a picture. Now, a lot of people get confused. They think a picture is the camera, but that will open up the camera on your iPad. Instead, we're going to find a similar logo like we saw on Schoology, kind of like that mountain and sun, and it will open up our photos. And so I saved it twice. I'm going to tap on that photo. Since it's a rather large photo, I've noticed it takes a little while. So tap on it once, give it a second, it might come up there. If your iPad freezes, what I found is that when I reopen Microsoft Word on my iPad, it does populate there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my views. I'm going to look at one page, and this is one page. If I scroll up, I have half of my flyer on the top page and half of it on the bottom page. Probably not ideal if I'm trying to make a one-page flyer. So what we need to do is we need to resize this picture. You'll notice that there are some squares on the top, bottom, left, and right, and some circles on all the corners. The circles, as you drag them, it will keep that like aspect so it doesn't look like he has like really skinny hands or really strange hands. If you do decide to choose to drag these in and out and you want to go back, now's a perfect time to practice using that undo button up here and make sure that you take your picture back to a regular size just like that. Okay? Now for the picture, we want it to be a rather small picture, and so let's go ahead and resize it. Let's pick something here. Let's go to 4.0. Just like that. You kind of have to be a little patient there. 4.0. It looks like it almost fits on one page, so I think we might need to make it even a little bit smaller. Let's go ahead and change that height. Instead of 4.0, we're going to make this super small. Let's go ahead and make it 3. Let's try 3. Oh, it looks like I have to move that underneath dry. You could go ahead and adjust it. It's close, it's almost there, it's not necessarily there yet. So let's go ahead and let's drag that corner. Let's try 2.5. 2.5, 1. See if you get it perfect. It's like a game. Oh, close. All right, we got everything to fit on one page. It's awesome. So let's go ahead and leave it as close to 2.5 as possible. Now you'll notice with your picture selected, not only do you get these like circles on the corners and these boxes on the sides, you also get up here a picture tab. So let's go ahead and tap on that, and we get some additional picture tools that we haven't seen before. It only shows up when you have that picture selected. So if you tap, like I'm going to tap right here in the white space, that tab disappears. If I want to get that tab again, I have to tap on the picture. Okay, now let's go ahead over to the picture styles over here. If you tap on that, there are some picture styles that we could use. All right, and let's go ahead and find the one. It has like the diagonal corners here. It kind of looks like this. We're going to tap on that one. Not super exciting, but something just to show you, like, it doesn't take away from the picture. We could still see what's happening. It looks like we might need to adjust the picture a little bit smaller, maybe 2.25. Well, you know what, let's go ahead, this empty space here, let's go ahead and delete that space just to make sure everything fits on one page. Okay, so one more time, I'll hit the undo button, find this extra paragraph mark above when, you can see when right there, and go ahead and hit this backspace button, and everything should fit on one page, just like that. Okay, I want to make sure we have enough room for that picture style. If you wanted to try and like stretch it out as much as possible, you can. It's a dangerous game because eventually it's gonna kick this last line onto a second page. It looks like I was able to resize it to about 2.73 is as big as I could get the picture. So if you want to stretch your picture out, you can. Alright, now with this picture we also want to add like maybe a shadow, and so a shadow is right next to picture styles over here. We have that shadow, and let's see, there's some inner shadows, some perspective. I kind of like this perspective over here to the left, so let's go ahead and apply that one. Looks like the picture standing up. It gives it like a little three-dimensional look there. And if we go back to our view and look at one page, our flyer is really starting to take shape, especially if we go back to home, go to our paragraph formatting, turn off those paragraph marks. It looks pretty good so far, especially for an iPad flyer.